that's from my perspective.
Yeah,
Everybody may not feel the same
which
way.
it should be that way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
if trust me, the best thing for me would not saying that I um, do everything right. I'm
Hmm.
sure my caregiver or my significant other could
Right.
say you do everything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because I do. But
Absolutely.
at the same time, maybe it's not.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe what I do isn't wrong. So
That's
that's
true.
what you have to do. And the fact is that as a caregiver,
Hmm.
you're the one that sees the ins and outs of every single moment of the day.
Absolutely.
And I just want to know, I mean, does it get rough?
Oh, it can, because I
Realistically?
think my wife has a tendency to be somewhat of an outreaching person. Her heart is big. She
Right.
tries to do a lot, and I keep telling her that she needs to slow it down and stay focused on who she is.
Yeah.
And probably one of the most important things in her life is her little young granddaughter. I said our granddaughter, I should say, and she's
Right.
crazy about that child. And I'm saying if you wear yourself out, you won't have any time or energy left to spend with her. And so,
Right.
my big thing is seeing that every day is don't because I think everyone that has any type of congenital disease, MS being one of them, I would say that for the most part, it does impact you physically, that your energy level. So
Right.
don't spend. I know it's nice to reach out, but you're not totally normal, and so
Right.
don't spend all that extra energy. Save some for yourself. I mean,
Yeah. And
that's.
I mean, do you all do things? Do you kind of force her to get out and do some fun
Oh,
things or
absolutely. Yeah.
like,
Well, we spend as much time, and that's the other thing we're doing. I'm now able to spend more time on. We travel quite a bit now, and I'm
uh-huh.
trying to do as much as possible, not only for her but for myself, because at
Right.
some point,
Right.
you know, physically you just can't do all the things you did when you were younger.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so, yeah, we get out and we travel a lot, and she moves around not as fast as everybody else, but she gets there. And so, and that's probably a good thing. We should probably outpace ourselves. I think this society we live in is kind of,
You
you
know
know.
what I noticed? The one thing about MS
Mhm.
is that MS has a way of forcing you to pace yourself.
Good.
Even if you
That's a
don't
good
want
thought.
to,
That's a good thought.
it
Yeah,
forces you to slow down,
I agree.
be more aware on every single moment, every single second of every day.
Hmm.
And that's something that and I hope that Paula's noticed the same thing. She told me in the car that she had
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
It's
She's
kind of
getting there.
forced her to,
Take her
take a moment
time.
and be
Yeah,
happy with
yeah,
every moment that we have
yeah,
because you never know.
yeah.
And can I ask you? And I know I might have skipped
Hmm.
and jumped around a little bit because,
That's all
MS
right.
kind of makes us do this at
Sure.
times. But what do you think about her medication?
Well, she's on Avonex,
Hmm.
and we've been to, like as I say, several of the seminars talking about the research they're doing with additional uh, medications, which I'm glad. I mean, there seems to be an emphasis on MS that maybe it's always been there, but because I'm so actively involved in it now, it seems to be a very positive thing. And I think the Avonex works fine. She takes her weekly shot. I think she would like to get to an oral way to take the medicines, but none of that has been researched out to the point where it's
That you feel comfortable?
that she feels comfortable. When I'm saying if it's working, that whole old adage, if it works, don't
Then
don't
fine.
fix it, that kind of thing.
But
But yeah, Avonex is one of them. There's another one. It begins with a T, and I can't recall what it is. But my other male friend, takes that. He gets it once a month, and it's pretty intense because he has to go to an actual facility as opposed to doing it at home to have the shot that he takes, but he likes it. So everybody's different.
right.
So I'm completely happy with what's going on. I'm sure that as the research continues, there'll be improvements in that, and we'll see where we are.
So me, I have to tell you one thing about me.
Okay.
And you can meet me right there.
Okay.
I take the oral
Oh, okay.
supplement. I
All right.
take one pill a day.
Okay.
The reason why I have to be honest, the reason why I think this is good
Mm-hmm.
is because 9 times out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
I forget that I'm sick.
Ah,
And I think
okay.
a lot of the disease
Mm-hmm.
has to do with where you are mentally. When you don't really feel any different, you take one pill a day and
Mm-hmm.
then your day continues however
Mm-hmm.
you want it to,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you feel better and feel more confident about yourself and who you can be and you start to really honestly forget that you're sick.
Well, that's well said. I go back to what I stated is that I don't put a lot of emphasis on what you have. I put emphasis on what you can do while you're
Right.
still able to do it. And your comment that you in your mind, you've got to think through this thing. Yeah,
Right.
you're having some issues, not just you, but anyone who has any kind of illness, you're having some issues, we're working through that process.
Yeah.
And if it hasn't got to the point where it's just made you totally immobile,
Hmm.
then you still have a opportunity to be as normal as you can possibly be. So,
Right.
yeah, I think that's great. And the everyday pill for you would probably be great. I don't know that Paula would do that.
Actually, I
And
spoke to
she's
Paula
totally
today and
different.
she kind of wants to.
Oh, okay,
So,
good, good,
no,
good.
no, it's just the thing about it is that do you know that we go to the same neurology
Oh no,
center? Do you know that?
no, I did not.
Yeah, yeah, we
That's a
do.
great center, one over by St. Vincent.
JWM.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what's
that's great.
very, very
Yeah,
funny is
yeah.
that we are going to the exact same place with two different medicines,
Mm-hmm.
two
Mm-hmm.
different approaches to our disease.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just kind of curious,
Yeah,
it makes me curious to find out what works and what's the best and
sure.